Last week, the National Senate Republican Committee National Republican Senate Committee was forced to issue an apology after they had sent out a fundraising email for Senate Republicans, where the email, signed by former Vice President Mike Pence, said that the 2020 election was, among other things, a contested takeover by the Democratic Party, of course. And it turns out that all of these bogus claims of election takeover that the National Republican Senate Committee made in this email, Mike Pence never said any of that. Mike Pence never even signed off or approved of this email message coming out from this campaign committee bearing his name. So the committee got in a little bit of trouble. Mike Pence obviously wasn't happy about it, so they have to come out and apologize like, hey, sorry, we put words in his mouth that he didn't say. He didn't know we were doing this, apparently, and oops, our bad. But the damage was already done, right? Because the email already went out. And you didn't email the apology, you just issued an apology. So unless you send an email out to everybody who got the initial email thinking that Mike Pence had somehow jumped on the 2020 election fraud big lie bandwagon, then your apology means absolutely nothing. And I think that's kind of what the committee here was banking on. Because they know that people who got the email are going to read the email. These are Republican folks who get the email. And they're not going to pay attention to whether or not they have to retract it and say, nope, sorry, Mike Pence actually doesn't believe these things. Because Mike Pence, to his credit, which I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth, but Mike Pence has actually been relatively quiet about the 2020 election, has not necessarily been pushing the big lie. Kind of obvious he doesn't buy into that. And looks like, to me, he just kind of wants to distance himself from the entire thing. Donald Trump, of course, has been pissed off with Mike Pence because he didn't overturn the election. He has attacked Pence on multiple occasions since leaving the White House. Of course, we know that some of the January 6th Capitol rioters were walking around the halls chanting death to Mike Pence. They wanted to hang him. Mike Pence has a good reason to kind of lay low here and not be like, hey, I totally believe the big lie now. No, he's not like that. And I imagine he's probably pretty unhappy that they put his name on this thing. But again, damage is done. You sent out the email. Sure, you raised a lot of good money from that, right? All these people out there thinking that Mike Pence is now one of them. And to be honest, you may have put him in danger now by coming out and saying, no, sorry, he doesn't believe that. Because we know that there's enough crazed Trump supporters in this country who would now, if they get the apology, look at it and be like, well, hold up. No, he doesn't think it's stolen. He's turning on Donald Trump. We've literally seen Republicans do that, turn on one another if they don't buy into the big lie. So, man, this National Republican Senate Committee is causing all sorts of chaos, but they don't care. Because at the end of the day, they still get their money and they don't have to deal with any of the repercussions of their irresponsible and reckless actions.